Welcome. My name is Tina. Welcome to Energy Medicine Yoga. We're going to start, everyone in class pick cards, but I'm going to pick a card for those of you who are at home. And so my class, we're not doing it next week, so all of you will be listening to this next week, so this will be your card for next week. It's okay to feel feelings. And is that not a perfect card for Energy Medicine Yoga? Because if there's one thing I'm always telling you guys, it's feel your feelings, feel your feelings. You guys have been with me through the loss of my sister when I was feeling the grief, and I made myself feel the feelings, and we did sounds, and we did all that stuff. And it's 8 months, 9 months later, and look at what a better place I'm in, because I allowed myself to feel my feelings. So we are going to start, and I'm sitting on a blanket here. You don't need to sit on a blanket, but if you'd like a blanket, just to lift your hips up. I'm going to roll those shoulders back, close your eyes, and the hands can rest anywhere that feels comfortable on yourself, hands to heart center, whatever feels good. Close those eyes, and let's take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, mouth. Now the next time we do that exhale, I want you to imagine you're releasing anything that is no longer serving you. So take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, mouth. And we'll do that one more time. Inhale, nose. And exhale, mouth. Now come back to your breath, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Deep inhales through the nose, deep exhales through the nose. Clearing your mind of any thoughts, any to-do lists, and just focusing on the present, focusing on this moment right here. Now, keeping the eyes closed, we're going to change our breath. We're going to inhale 7 tiny sips of air through the nose. So it will sound like inhaling 7, hold your breath for a beat, and then exhale through the nose. So we're going to do 5 rounds of that. So we inhale, hold, and exhale through the nose. 4 more. Inhale 7 tiny sips of air. Hold. Exhale through the nose. Inhale. Hold. Exhale the nose. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. And one final. Inhale. Hold. And exhale. We're slowly going to open up our eyes. Roll those shoulders back a couple times. Take the hands on either side of the mat, and you're going to walk the left hand out until the palm presses down in the mat. Bring the right hand over to the left side and press those right hip bones into the mat or into your blanket if you're resting on something. Inhale, arms high overhead, and exhale, switching side. Inhale, high mountain. Exhale, bring the right hand to the left knee, left arm behind you. Gaze over that left shoulder. Inhale, arms high overhead. Exhale, switching sides. Gaze over that right shoulder. Inhale back to center, and we're going to come up to stand to do the energy medicine wake up. So we're going to take our pointer, middle finger, and thumb and create a little beak. We're going to come to our collarbone. We're going to slide our hands out an inch and down to that kidney 27, the on button for our body here. Inhale, nose. Exhale, mouth. We're turning on our energy. We're moving it forward. Now coming here to our thymus, maybe use both hands along the sternum here. Inhale, nose. Exhale, mouth. Coming to the spleen meridian here. Inhale, nose. Exhale, mouth. Helping with digestion, food, emotions, experiences. And then coming underneath, along that orbital bone. Here I'm not pressing, I'm just gently tapping my fingers. Inhale, nose, and exhale, mouth. Just helping to ground us here. Shake your hands out. Cross crawl. Getting that energy to stop moving in a homolateral position and to start to flow and move around us. We're going to take right hand to right thigh, left hand to left. A couple times, back and forth. Shake your hands out. And now that right hand is going to come to the left thigh. Left hand to right thigh. Back and forth. Getting that energy moving. Everyone should start feeling themselves wake up. It's called the wake up for a reason. Good job. Let's shake our hands out. Coming to the zip up. So we're going to set one hand in front of the other, roll the shoulders back, and let's come back either to the card that you picked or the card. It's okay to feel your feelings. Feel your feelings. We're going to set that intention. We're going to inhale, bring the hands up in front of the body. When they get to the face, flip the hands up. Exhale. Bringing those hands down to your side. Let's do that 2 more times. Set that intention. Inhale. And exhale. And one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Shake it off. Final one, that hookup. So bring one middle finger into your belly button. Doesn't matter which hand. The other middle finger to your third eye. Press in and hook up. Inhale, nose. Exhale, mouth. And one more. Now bring your hands to your thighs. If you feel like you can balance, close your eyes and just notice how you feel. We're going to slowly open up our eyes. Let's inhale, circle sweep the arms high overhead. Interlace your fingers, flip the palms up, and lean over to the left side, pressing that right hip over to the right side. Inhale, center, exhale, switching sides, coming over to the right side. Left hip, pressing over to the left side. Inhale, center, exhale, let's move into a cactus. Cactus, the arms, press the chest up, chin away from the chest, gaze towards the ceiling here. Inhale back to high mountain. Exhale, as we come down, we're going to do that Celtic weave. We're creating like a figure 8 or an infinity sign, a sideways figure out, coming all the way down. And we're just going to hang here in the forward fold, continuing to do that Celtic weave. Now let's just stop that. Let the hands hang here. And with the hands together, you can bring your pointer fingers together. We're going to create a Celtic weave. And then you don't have to have the hands. You can distance the hands. But just so that we're doing the same motion with both hands, that infinity sign or sideways 8, we're slowly going to come on up, making your way all the way up, moving those arms wide, moving that energy around us. Let's bring the arms into a funnel for this position. Heaven rushes in. Spread your fingertips as far apart from one another as you can. And on the exhale, we're just going to swan dive down. Hang here in a forward fold. Maybe clasp the opposite elbow with the opposite hand, hanging in a ragdoll. Slight bend in the knees. And then release that hold, trace up spleen. Bring your pointer and your middle finger to the inside edge of the foot. Trace along the side of the leg, side of the foot, behind the ankle bone, up the inner thigh, up the inner leg, up the inner thigh, across the top of the thigh to the hip bone, up the side body, just past the underarm pit or the shoulder, and then buzz along here for tracing up spleen here. All right, let's shake our hands up and do a couple sun salutations. So just come to stand at the top of your mat. Let's inhale, circle sweep the arms high overhead, and we're going to change it around. Now when we come down, we're going to do that Celtic weave, coming all the way down to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, palms of the hands to the mat. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, and walk or jump back into plank. You can have the knees down on the ground or just hold here in plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, making your way down to your belly, chin down to the mat. And then inhale, Baby Cobra, chin away from the chest. Exhale, coming back down to the ground. Inhale, Baby Cobra. Exhale, chin to mat. Inhale, Baby Cobra. One more time. Exhale, chin to mat. Inhale, push yourself up to tabletop. We're going to inhale to cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. One more. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Take that, plant the right hand, bring the left arm to the sky. And let's do a couple wrist rotations in one direction and then in the other direction. Point the fingers towards the sky. We're going to flick the pointer finger off the thumb, middle finger off the thumb, ring finger off the thumb, pinky finger off the thumb, all 4 fingers 3 times. And then when we come down, we're going to do that Celtic weave with one hand, planting that left hand down to the ground. Let's inhale the right one high to the sky. Same thing. Let's rotate the wrist a couple times in one direction and a couple times in the other direction. Point the fingers towards the ceiling, flick the pointer finger off the thumb, Middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger, all 4 fingers 3 times, and Celtic weave with the arm, coming all the way down to tabletop. We're gonna move from tabletop to downward dog. So curl the toes under, take a deep inhale here. Exhale, downward dog, pressing down to downward dog. Let's walk that dog a couple times, bending the opposite knee and bringing the opposite heel down to the ground. Then try bringing both heels down to the ground. Press your chin in towards the chest. Press the chest towards the thighs. Holding here for a couple breaths. And then inhale down to tabletop. Exhale, downward dog. We're just going to go back and forth a few times here. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, downward dog. One more. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, downward dog. Staying here. Look to the top of your mat and walk or jump, hanging here in this forward fold. As we inhale, we're going to trace up spleen again, pointer middle finger to the inside edge of the foot, behind the ankle bone, up the inner leg, out to the hip bone, up the side body, coming down here, and buzz one more time. So let's inhale, circle sweep those arms high overhead. Exhale, Celtic weave coming down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, walk or jump back into plank. We're going to hold here a couple times, couple breaths, pulling that belly in towards the spine. And then let's just drop the knees down, coming into tabletop. Let's bring that left leg behind us for bird dog and bring the right arm up, right fingertips pointed towards the ceiling. On the exhale, we're going to work on our balance here. Exhale, try and bring that right elbow to the left knee. As we do this, create like a cat position with the back. Bring the chin in towards the chest, slight arch in the back. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend out to bird dog. Exhale, crunch. One more of those. Inhale, bird dog, and exhale, crunch. Inhale, back to bird dog, holding here, and then exhale, come back into tabletop. Good job on that balance. We're going to take our right leg behind us now, and the left arm's going to come up. You're going to have the thumb pointing up towards the ceiling here for bird dog. Inhale, exhale, elbow to knee. So left elbow to right knee. Inhale, bird dog. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, bird dog. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, bird dog. Exhale, crunch. One more. Inhale, bird dog. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale to bird dog, hold here. Exhale, come back to tabletop. Curl the toes under, take a deep inhale, and on the exhale, shift the hips back for downward dog. Holding here. And let's inhale that right leg high to sky. Rotate the ankle a couple times in one direction, and then a couple times in the other direction. Point and flex that foot a couple times. Exhale, knee to nose, and bring that leg forward. So we're in a low lunge. If you have blocks, you can use blocks here on either side of you. Otherwise, we're just going to hold here in this low lunge. Now, I have my blocks here. I have long arms, so it's easier for me to have my hands down on the ground. If you have a block, if you're doing this at home and you don't have a block, you can use a book or anything. But everyone has their right foot forward right now. I want you to plant the left hand on the block or on the floor. We're going to come into a little twist. So I'll show it with the block. Inhale, that right arm high to sky, gaze up towards the ceiling. You can always drop the back knee if you'd like. We're going to take that right hand and we're going to do 3 backward circles. We're going to do them slowly and we're going to graze the side of our body as we do this. So 3 slow backward circles. Point the fingers towards the ceiling, and we're going to do those finger flicks one more time. Flick the pointer finger off the thumb, middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger, all 4 fingers 3 times, and then let's Celtic weave, bringing that arm all the way down. Let's drop the back knee, move the block off to the side, and meet back in a tabletop position. Curl the toes under, take a deep inhale, exhale, downward dog, shifting back to downward dog. Let's now inhale that left leg high to sky. Rotate the ankle a couple times in one direction, and then a couple times in the other direction. Point and flex the foot a couple times. Exhale, knee to nose. And bring that foot forward in that lunge. Again, if you have the block, you can bring the block to the inside edge of that foot. You can keep that back knee up or down. We're going to plant our left foot's forward. We're going to plant our left hand, and we're going to inhale the right one high to the sky again. 3 backward circles, slow circles, grazing the left side of our body. And then point the fingers towards the ceiling. And we'll flick the pointer finger off the thumb, middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger, all 4 fingers 3 times. And then let's Celtic weave as we bring that hand down. Drop the back knee. Bring the block off to the side. And come onto your knees, coming up to a position. We're going to bring the hands on the hips, bring the left leg out to the side for gate pose, left toes facing forward. We're going to slide the left arm down and point the right fingertips towards the ceiling. Just a slight bend here. Inhale, coming back onto both knees, and let's take that right leg out to the side again. Slide the right hand down, left fingertips pointed towards the ceiling here. And then we're going to come back to tabletop. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. One more time. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Come to a neutral spine. Curl the toes under. Shift the hips high to the sky. Hold here in downward dog. And then we're going to walk our hands back towards our feet. Let the fingers come again, tracing up spleen one more time. Pointer middle finger to the inside of edge of the foot. And let's trace that spleen up one more time. Bring the hands to your hips and come to stand at the top of your mat. Look down at your feet. They should be about hip width apart. Or if you bring 2 fists together, if you bring them down, that's about the distance that your feet should be. Let's inhale the arms high overhead and just sit back here in a chair pose. Bring the hands to heart center. And then I want you to bring them behind your back, on top of your tailbone. So they're right here like this. And we're just going to rotate the hands in one direction, massaging along that area, and then switch directions. Bring the hands now around the front of the hips, and we're going to flip the hands forward and back a couple times. Now take the hands up the front of the body, cup them, we're going to straighten the legs, cup them over the mouth, inhale nose, and exhale. 3 breaths here. Nice deep inhales. Slide the hands over the heart, inhale, exhale 3 times here. Little clearing of the center of the body. So we're going to take one hand, we've got our left hand, we're going to bring it over to our right side. Our right hand's going to come behind us a little bit. We're going to take those hands, we're going to bring them across our midsection, getting rid of any gook and flicking them off. We're going to do that one more time. Flick it off. The next time we're going to bring it across, and then we're going to trace our hands on the outside of our legs. Behind the ankle bone, along the pinky edge side of the foot. Flick, shake the hands, and let's trace up spleen. One final time. So we're going to do the other side too. So we're now going to bring that left hand behind us, right hand comes around. You can gaze over that right shoulder. We're going to take our hands and drag them across the mid part of our body and flick it off. We come behind again, drag across the front of our body, flick it off. One final time, drag across here, bring the hands to the outside of the thighs, come all the way down behind the ankle bone, trace along the pinky edge side of the foot, shake your hands out. One final time, we're going to trace up spleen. Coming all the way down here. And then let's inhale, circle sweep the arms high overhead. Exhale, Celtic weave, coming all the way down to the mat. I want you to lean over to the pinky edge side of that right foot. We're going to do that Celtic weave on the right side of the body, coming all the way up, and then bring the hands to heart center again. That heaven rushes in. Exhale, forward fold. Swing the hands to the pinky edge side of that left foot. We're going to do that Celtic weave all up the left side of the body. Bring the arms to heart, to center again in that funnel. Heaven rushes in. I want you to look up to the ceiling, the sky, whatever you're looking at, and just ask the universe, what is it you need right now? What do you need right now? And exhale, forward fold. Hanging here in that forward fold again. Clasp the opposite elbow with the opposite hand and just drop that head. Release the hands. As we inhale, we're going to come into that chair pose again, bringing the hands to that chair pose. Bring the hands to heart center. We're going to take that right elbow, we're going to hook it to the outside of the left leg just to do a little twist here, massaging our internal organs. Gaze up towards the ceiling. And then let's inhale back to center in that chair pose. You can look down at your toes, lift them up, make sure you're not putting any weight in your toes. And exhale, switching sides, hooking that left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. Inhale back to center, holding here in that chair pose. Maybe try coming up on the balls of your feet, just balancing here on the balls of your feet. Good job. And then dropping down. We'll try that one more time, balancing up on the balls of the feet. And we'll come all the way down. So slowly inhale, bring the arms high overhead. Exhale, bring them to heart center. We're going to do a move called Heaven Connects Earth. We've done this lots of times before. So what we do is our hands will be like we're holding a pizza or a tray like this. That's what both hands are going to be doing. One's going to be pointing up to the ceiling. So bring your left one to the ceiling. The right one's going to be pressing down. So you have those palms. You're trying to press those arms as far apart from one another as you like. So we're doing this. Inhale, exhale. Bring the hands to heart center and bend the knees. So we're coming back to that chair position we were in. So let's inhale. And I want you to stretch those arms. Imagine someone's pulling your wrists in both directions here. Inhale, center. Exhale, switching sides. That left arm is pointed up towards the ceiling here. Inhale, center. Exhale. Right arm up towards the ceiling. Inhale, center. We'll do 2 more times each side. Inhale, center. Exhale. Now we're going to take that right hand. We're going to scoop it down. Hang here in a forward fold. Let's heel toe the feet out wide. So if you want to move sideways on your mat, go sideways on your mat so you have your feet on the mat. My mat's already sideways. So we have the hands forward. Let's plant the right hand, inhale the left one high to the sky to do a little twist here. Inhale. Bring that left hand to where the right one is and inhale that right one high to sky here. Everyone feeling tight in this? I'm feeling tight doing this. And inhale, bring those arms down. And then this is where you have an option. If you have blocks, you can grab your blocks here, and you can come down to your forearms if you'd like, pressing the hips back. Just getting a nice opening in the hips, slight bend in the knees, drop your head and bring that chin towards the chest. Holding here for a couple more breaths. And then slowly come on up. Bring those blocks. Bring one to one foot, one to the other one. We're going to walk our hands over to the left side. You may have to draw the right foot in slightly. Bend the left leg, come on the ball of the left foot, right toes facing up towards the ceiling. And again, you got your block here by this right foot. You can just use your hands to help steady you with this block. And this is where we have some options. We can stay here. You can also try coming into that where we always do for earth, where we're going to take our left hand and bring it to that right spleen point. And then the right hand's going to come above the elbow. So we're working on balancing here. You can always drop your hand down. So we're just holding here in this position. Inhale nose, exhale nose for this one. This hold here just tells your body it's okay. So when your brain is starting to wonder, I'm wiggling too much, I'm going to fall over. And then we're going to drop those hands down. We're going to walk on over to the other side. Same thing on the other side. So we're coming onto the ball of the left foot or the right foot. Left toes are facing up. Same thing. You can try doing that same hold. Bring either hand over to that spleen meridian point, that kind of side of your body, and the other hand can try above your elbow. We're just practicing here. So like this is, you can always drop your hand if you feel like you're out of balance. I see people dropping their hands, and that's good. That just means you're trying. So that's what we want to do here. We want to sometimes be challenging ourselves here. Inhale, exhale through the nose, and then we're going to walk ourselves back to center. Heel toe those feet back in and slowly come on up one vertebrae at a time. So maybe now everyone's going to face the front of their mat again. Maybe this balancing pose will seem easier because the one we just did was kind of hard. So we're going to do tree pose, which we do, except we're going to be doing that same thing. We're going to be holding here in this. So let's first start, before we do that, maybe let's just give ourselves some love. So take one hand in front of your body. And just grab the side on that spleen point, that point that we were thumping before. The other hand's going to go across your body and grab over your elbow. Feet are about hip width apart. Ujjayi breath, inhale and exhale through the nose. And just close your eyes maybe, keep them open. We're just going to sway from side to side. And then come back to center. So tree pose, we have a lot of options. Let's first start and just plant that right foot into the ground. The left foot is going to come into a kickstand. So this is where you can stay. And you can try here, closing your eyes and just seeing how you feel. Open the eyes. The next option is to bring that left foot below the right knee, not on the knee. Holding here. And you can always let go of this hold and come into a T or something that kind of helps you. But otherwise a little more challenging. Then the last thing to do, and before you do this, you want to find a point on the ground, on the wall, something that's not moving for you to focus your gaze on. You can drop one hand, pull that left leg in against that right thigh, and just hold here with the hands in this position here. Coming back to that Ujjayi breath. Inhale and exhale through the nose. You might be wiggling a little, that's okay. And as we come out of this, we're going to do one balancing thing. Let's lift that left leg up, bring the arms out to the side for star pose. Good job. So next week, when I'm not here, you guys can work on this balancing at home, right? So let's plant now the other side. So we're going to come into that hand position again. You can switch sides if you like. I always like to have the hand for the foot that's going to be in the tree pose. I like to have that hand across my chest so I can reach down with that hand. So that's what I always do. So in this position, I'm going to have my right hand across my body holding that spleen point. Left hand on top. Again, that same thing. Kickstand that foot. And this is where you can stay. I always just give options, so we don't need to be doing all this stuff. Now, if you want, you can raise that foot and bring it below your knee. If this feels very unbalanced, drop back to this kickstand. The other thing you can do, if you find this difficult when you're at home, just bring your hand against a wall. It'll give you something to balance on. The last one, and this is why I like to have this right hand in the front, is I grab that foot. I bring it up. I help guide it. And then I'm going to reposition my hands here, holding here, making sure that that right foot is not on your knee. It's above, below, or it's on the ground. And we're just holding here, maybe looking at a point. If you're looking at me, I see someone looking at me, I'm going to be moving because I'm not still. So just try your best. You can always bring your arms out if you'd like. And then let's finally just bring that leg up for final balance. And come down, kick it out. So we're going to move into a squat pose. We have our block, so you can use your block to sit on. So come into this pose however feels most comfortable for you. I like to just come right down into it. My heels are in, toes are 45 degrees, and you can have the block to sit on if you need to. If this is really uncomfortable for you, everyone in this class is doing it, but if you're doing it at home, it's really uncomfortable for you, come into Balasana or just butterfly position here. Just come into that pose. What we're doing is we're trying to create some movement in our hips, pressing them up. Tomorrow I have an insanely long car. I'm driving my daughter to Vancouver, Canada. It's 21.5 hours from here. So I'm going to be crunched in a car, and we're going to do it in 2 days. So yeah, it's a very lofty goal, but it's the car's filled with things, and so I have to, so we don't want to be on the road for too long, and just to move her into her apartment. So long car ride tomorrow. I always say the things we mothers do for our children, right? I've done this ride 4 times. Sorry, John, but you've done it 0. That's to my husband, so he watches this. And we're going to hold here. Now, while we're in this position, we're going to do a little bit of a twist because I see everyone in this class is in it. So let's drop our right hand And let's just bring that left one high to the sky. This will be my test to see if he watches my yoga videos, right? We're going to bring that left hand down and bring the right one high. And then come back to center. Now this pose, I always say this, key to longevity, being able to get yourself small. Look how, you guys are all going to be old. Good job. Everyone's doing an awesome job in this pose here. And if this is difficult for you, just practice it a little every day. We're going to drop our hands down to the ground. We're going to press ourselves up. Point the toes forward and just hang here in a ragdoll. Grab the opposite elbow with the opposite hand and hang here in a forward fold. Let's release the hands. And we're going to come to a seated position. So because I'm recording this today, I don't have music playing. I always have music playing in my classes. But traditionally, in energy medicine yoga, we don't have music. The whole idea is you're just supposed to be able to hear things. So we're going to start first, and we've done this a lot, cobbler's pose. We're in this pose. We're going to touch the spleen and the kidney points. So we're going to take our pointer middle finger. We're going to trace it down the inside of our foot, just like, remember, we were always doing this for spleen. And when we get just past the ball of the foot, we're going to stop the pointer and the middle finger here. So just hold that there. The thumb is going to go here into this divot point right here, kind of between the Achilles and your ankle bone. So the thumb's going to go there. The other two fingers are going to come here. I'm going to slide the hands down. We're going to press in here. And I've said this before. If you feel something, it's not your heart pulse, it's your energetic pulse. You may feel nothing, but if not, we're just working on. You're pressing, the thumb is here, right here, into this little ankle, where the, right here, that's the thumb. The other hands are going to press, the pointer and the middle finger are going to come along the outside of that little bump you feel from the big toe, and then you go on the inside. If you're tracing along the inside, if you start at your toe and you trace along the inside of the foot and you come just past the ball, you're going to hold there. And then the thumb's going to press into the other section. Oh, right, this, right here on the inside of the foot. Yeah, just right, yeah, just kind of like knuckle. Yeah, that's it. So you're going to hold here, you're going to bring the other thumb, you're going to do right hand, right foot, left hand, left foot, press the thumb in there, bring the elbows just maybe to the inside of your thighs. You can lean forward. Yeah. And we're just going to hold this for about a minute. And as I said, if you feel a little pulse, it can take months and months of doing this to feel a pulse. But otherwise, we don't have music on this one today. So we can just close our eyes, and we're just going to hold this for a minute. And all I want you to do is just focus on your breath. Inhale and exhale through the nose. And slowly, gently release that hold. Did anyone feel any pulsing at all? And I noticed I did too. And it's different when you don't have the music playing in the background, right? Because you are much more focused into your body, which is why traditionally energy medicine does not have music. It's just, we're here at a rec center. You could hear this guy yelling his stuff. His class is over right now, but it is nice to kind of block things out. Yep. I'll show you. Oh yeah, so I'll talk to you at the end of class about all of that. So we've got all that kind of synced up. We're going to lay down on our backs, and we're going to come back that hold we did before. We're just going to do sit-ups with that hold. So we're going to bring the soles of our feet down to the mat, and we're going to bring one hand over, grabbing that spleen area. The other one's going to be on the elbow. Now, when we come up, we're just going to try and lift our shoulders off the ground. I want everyone to pay attention to your lower back. Can you press your lower back into the mat? Really pull that belly button into the core. And as you inhale, raise those shoulders up. You're probably not going to come up very far. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, coming up. Holding for a little bit. Hold your breath. Exhale, lower. Inhale, come up. Exhale, lower. Two more times. Inhale, hold. Keeping that lower back pressed into the mat. Exhale, lower. And one final one. Inhale, up. And hold. And exhale, lower. Now we're going to find a spot called kidney 1. And so kidney 1, if you bunch your feet together, my feet I see are dirty from this floor, bunch your feet together, you're going to take your thumb and you're going to press in that little divot. It's between the first and the second toe, and when you crunch, you'll see like a little divot, and that's where I want your thumb to press into. So we're going to hold the right foot in a figure 4 position, and we're just using our left thumb to press into that little kidney 1 point on the right foot. Just want to make sure everyone gets that point. Then we're going to switch sides. So you're going to bring the left foot into a figure 4. Maybe you lift the right leg up to pull that left foot closer in towards you. Again, crunch the bottom of your feet. Take your thumb and press it into that little divot between kind of the first and second toe and the ball of the foot, and we're just going to hold in that spot. Now we're going to release that. Now everyone remembers where that spot is. We're going to come into Happy Baby. So we're all going to come into Happy Baby, and most of the time I tell you to pull at the pinky edge side of your feet. This time maybe you take your middle finger, but take whatever finger works best for you, and I want you to press into that kidney 1 as much as you can, bringing those knees down to the ground. Press the lower back. And this is kidney 1. So this is the beginning of the kidney meridian. And when we were tapping at the beginning of class, when it was kidney 27 at our collarbone area, that's the end of the kidney meridian. So we're pressing here into the beginning of the kidney meridian here. Hold here for a couple more breaths. Everyone looks awesome. And then let's just release that. Bring the soles of the feet down to the ground, coming into a supine twist. So we're going to pull that right knee in towards our chest. Bring the right hand out to the side. Left hand comes to the outside of the right leg. Roll onto the left hip and bring that right leg over to the left side. Gaze over the right shoulder. That left hand can grab behind the right knee. That is an energetic point in energy medicine yoga called Achievers of the Impossible. And then I just want you just to inhale and exhale through the nose, sinking into this stretch, forgetting about anything outside of this room. And then we're going to come on to our backs. Pull that right knee in towards your chest. Pull the left knee in towards your chest. Release the right leg, pulling that left knee in towards the chest. Now the left arm comes into a T. Right hand comes to the outside of that left leg. Roll onto the right hip and bring that left leg over to the right side. Gaze over the left shoulder. And now that right hand can grab behind the left knee if you can for that Achievers of the Impossible point. And slowly roll onto your backs. Pull both knees in towards your chest. Pull that nose in towards the knees, making yourself as small as you possibly can. Only time I tell you to make yourself small. And then on the exhale, we're going to bring the feet out wide. Now, if you have a blanket, you can take that blanket and bring it over you. It can help with Shavasana to just have a covering over you, a sweatshirt, anything like that. We're going to have our heels in, toes out at about a 45-degree angle. And then let's take our hands and rub them together. Keep rubbing them together until you feel some heat in the palm of your hands. And then you're going to take one hand on top of your forehead. The hand that's on top of your forehead, I want you to look over to that side. So I've got my left hand on my forehead. I'm going to look over to the left side. And then my left upper arm is going to drop to the floor. Then the right hand's going to come behind my head. So where my head and my neck meet, and then I'm going to drop the elbow down to the ground. So I'm looking over to the side of the hand that has the forehead, that's holding the forehead. This is a neurovascular hold. It tells your body just that it's okay and that it can relax. So we're going to do a cleansing breath. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, mouth. Feel your body relax and come into final Shavasana. If at any point you want to release this hold and come into a traditional Shavasana, feel free to do that. Otherwise, enjoy this moment of rest. And slowly come back to your breath. Stretch your arms out overhead, tops of the hands against the floor here. Take a deep inhale through the nose. And exhale, mouth. Start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. And take your time, roll on over to one side or the other, coming into a fetal position, letting the head rest in the crook of the arm. And then you're slowly going to press yourself up to a comfortable seat. And bring the hands to heart center. Roll the shoulders back. Close the eyes. And we're all going to seal in this practice today with one final Om. We'll do the cleansing breath first. Deep inhale through the nose. And exhale, mouth. Inhale to Om. Om. Bring your thumbs to third eye. The courage within me sees and honors the courage within all of you. Namaste.